Buongiorno from Italy. You're here in the land of plenty, the land of food, and all you have is $20. How do you make the most of it? Savor the flavors. Well, that's my challenge. In this video, I'm gonna see how far 20 US dollars can go in Florence, Italy. Make it a street food challenge in the home of Renaissance, and yes, the birthplace of gelato. Are you ready? Let's go. No US dollars? Huh.
Grazie.
Grazie. Mini cornetto di cioccolato. E questi qua che cosa sono?
Crema di pistacchio.
Ah, ok.
Albicocca, amore, Nutella, cioccolato.
Tipico di Firenze.
Sì, crema cotta.
Okay, prendo quello. So this is the basic way to start your morning in Italy. Cappuccino e cornetto. That's a cappuccino and a brioche. And I got one here, this typical Florence with a specific cream. Now let's go get our coffee. So this is Caffè Concerto Pascalski, and it's a famous place here in Piazza Repubblica in Florence. It's probably going to cost us a little bit more than if we went to a typical bar tabaccaria, but I think, especially in Florence, you need to go to a historical spot like this. Standing at the bar versus sitting down, you're going to save yourself a lot of money, because when you sit down, they can charge you anything. For the cappuccino and this cornetto, I paid €3.40. These are the guys you'll come across in Italy. These guys are barista, and they're serving up this goodness right here. Got the first cappuccino of the day. This place, as I was saying, it's a classic place. Started in 1907 by a Polish businessman. And well, in that time, you have to think back to the 17th and 18th centuries, cafe culture was popping up all over France. Then it came down here into Italy. This was the Renaissance period. Cafe Gili next door opened up and around in the 1700s or something. 1907, 1907, this place opened up. And well, it was first a birreria, and then it became Caffè Concerto Pascalski. Caffè Concerto Pascalski. And here they would have outdoor concerts, of course, that's why it's called Caffè Concerto, but also it was a society hub, a place where people would come together, talk politics, as they still do today. Ciao ragazzi. Buona domenica. So friendly in here. Now keep in mind, at the bar you get much more of an Italian experience when you stand there, have the brioche, have the coffee to start your day, and I recommend for you to start your day that way as well. Also, it's more budget friendly, because if you take a table set out here, I was looking at this place for example, you're gonna have to pay €6.50 for a cappuccino to have a spot to sit down, but you may want to start off your day doing that. Just keep that in mind if you're on a budget. Oh, you gotta love Italy, the piazzas, the coffees, and just the atmosphere. Breathe it all in. Buongiorno. This is one of the street food must when you're in Italy, Lampredotto. And we're gonna try a little bit here. Posso avere un panino con Lampredotto?
Sure.
This is it right here, Lampredotto. And if you want to know what Lampredotto is, well, it's the innards of a cow. This is the fourth stomach of a cow, and it's goodness right there. Simple, just chopped up. The bun is soaked in some broth. You get some green sauce on there as well. And the Lampredotto, well, Lampredotto and tripe, in the past it was peasants' food, but now it's become kind of a go-to street food, especially here in Florence. You can get it in restaurants, but people usually eat it on the go in little stalls like this. And this is just by Mercato Nuovo and the famous Porcellino, the little pig that people roll the coins off of. And in fact, this place is called Tripaia del Porcellino. $5, well, this is a good bargain. Mattia was just explaining how they prepare this. Basically, they boil the cow's stomach in the broth for a few hours. The broth, well, it consists of onions, tomatoes, celery. They're a bunch of goodness. They also have another broth he was showing me that has a little bit of red wine in it as well. So it's soaked and it absorbs all that goodness, and then it's slapped here on a piece of bread, and you can also get it straight up in a little container of plastic if you don't want the extra carbs from the bread, but today we're going nuts. You take US dollars?
No, dollar no.
Mattia, grazie, ciao, buona giornata. So there you go. That was €5. We spent $3.40 I think at the first place, so we're up to $8.40 so far, and the goodness keeps coming. Good guys. Oh, it's Sunday in Florence. The sun is out, and there's so many tourists. But if you know the little spots to get to, you can find them. They're great little spots that don't have that many people there waiting in line. I'm going to drop links to all these places down in the description below. Also, I don't know if you've heard, but I have e-guides that I put out on eating in Italy, also traveling around Italy. Everything you need to know, you can download it, have it on your phone, in your pocket for when you're traveling around this beautiful country. Again, check out the link down in the description. Also, while you're down there, please give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet subscribed, just tick that little subscribe button right down below. So this is perfect street food. Nothing says more street food than fried bread that's been dipped in oil, salted. The Coccoli. Posso avere due Coccoli?
Empty, sausage or cheese and rafforzino?
Quello prosciutto
Empty, ham and cheese.
sì, quello con prosciutto.
Quanti?
Uno.
Ok.
E poi uno di salsicce.
Posso metterli insieme?
Sì, sì. So this is a low cost item, €3. Che cos'è questo?
Prosciutto di Casentino.
È prosciutto toscano.
Toscano fatto di Casentino.
You gotta love Italy. You go to these little spots like this, they serve you up a little sample. This is local prosciutto made out in the countryside here. And we're gonna have this in one of the fried balls. They're called Coccoli. In Italian it means cuddle. So it's a warm cuddling treat. It's a perfect name for them. So these were started here in Florence as kind of a food to have along with a glass of beer or a glass of wine. And they've become a typical street food here in Florence, and they're cheap. You can order as many as you want. So we're getting the ones with the Tuscan prosciutto and stracchino cheese, the soft cow's cheese. If you're walking around Florence, you can get these balls. They'll be served up in a cone. You can grab them. It's the perfect food to take on the go when you're out sightseeing at the Duomo or the Uffizi. Do you have any tourists here? Tanti turisti?
Sì. Ora se il tempo c'è il sole è meglio.
Today's Sunday and Florence is packed full of tourists. But if you wander around, you can find all these little hidden gems like this. Just great spots to come in and have so many treats. Here, of course, they also do the famous Lampredotto. They also do the Schiacciata. But I recommend this place to come and get the Coccoli, to come for a little bit of cuddles. Ciao! Well, right there, you saw him loading up all the Schiacciata, the big flat pieces of bread. One of those famous dishes you also have to try here in Florence, but that place I recommend to go there for the Coccoli. I have another spot for the Schiacciata right down this way. I Fritellini, and it's a little hole in the wall place. They've been here for so many years, and you gotta get here early because around 6 p.m. they're closed. So we're waiting in line here. We're gonna get up there and we're gonna make our order. Schiacciata. All over Italy you can get focaccia, but only here in Florence, Schiacciata.
Yes, schiacciata we say in Florence.
What is Schiacciata?
Schiacciata is a kind of bread. This is schiacciata. Schiacciata is a kind of bread. It's flat. People say flat. And this is panino. Panino is a little smaller. And this is schiacciata. And you choose the bread.
E poi?
It's a little salty instead of the other bread.
So this is a classic little spot. The famous one in Florence is All'Antico Vinaio, but there are too many people here. So this little place, I Fritellini, get here, you gotta wait in line, but you're gonna get a good schiacciata, which is just what the Florent people call smashed bread, and you see that there.
Flat bread. Schiacciata is like smashed.
Smashed bread. How much?
It's for you.
No, how
It's
much?
okay, it's okay.
No.
It's a present for us. It's a good occasion to know our food in the world.
Well, there you go. It's the kind
Thanks
Florent.
so much. Grazie
Grazie
mille.
mille.
Cheers, guys. Have a good
Have a
one.
good day.
Have a good
Grazie.
day.
Thank you.
Take care. Thank you.
Well, we've got a lot more budget now. They just offered me this schiacciata for free. Such kind people here that are serving up. This is a classic one with pecorino cheese and it looks like what is prosciutto or speck on there. Schiacciata, it's not a focaccia. Focaccia is, you'll see it all over Italy. That's a soft kind of oily bread. This is a hard, crunchy bread with just the right amount of salt and just the right amount of oil.
Grazie. Many thanks.
You're gonna have to spend your time waiting in line because we're getting near the lunch hour and you see that line is wrapped up down this way. But this is nothing compared to what you're gonna find on Via de Neri, all'Antico Venaio. I made another video about that place. That place is much more famous and much more crowded. My advice, come to this place around the time of 11 o'clock or later in the afternoon, maybe around 3 o'clock, not during the prime hours of lunch. But it's worth it. The budget is going well today. We have some money left over now for, I think, should be one of the final things you should add on your list when you're here in Florence. And we're gonna travel just on the south side of the river out of the main heart of the city for this. Also, if you guys haven't noticed, I have a newsletter I'm putting out now with regular email updates, so you can sign up down below. There's a link in the description for that. Also, if you want to become a channel member, you can get some of my videos that are released early before they're live to the public. You get customized badges that go by all your comments, and you get also prioritized replies to your comments as well. So there's a link to join right down below for that. Now let's get on the other side of the river. As a point of reference, when you're here in Florence, this is the River Arno, and it separates north and south from the historical center over here to the other side of the river, and this is what's called Oltre Arno, the other side of the Arno. Well, street food in Italy, when you're talking about street food, it's the gelato. It's the perfect thing that you can have, walk around with in your hand. If you're in Italy on a warm summer's day, a gelato is a perfect treat. I went with mango and frutti di bosco, mixed berry and mango. And the reason also you have to get gelato in Florence out of any place in Italy is it was invented here in Florence by Bernardo Buontalenti, and yes, the birthplace of gelato. In the 1500s, around 1565, he was working with the Medici family and they created what we now know as gelato. And we thank him. These places here, these gelaterias, maybe they're not the best. I think they're pretty darn good though. But I call them the holy trinity of gelaterias in Florence, the holy trinity of ice cream shops. This is the one we went to here, Carraia, Gelateria Carraia. There's another one up there, Gelateria Trinità. And then further on in Piazza Passera, there's Gelateria dalla Passera, the holy trinity of ice cream shops. Because you have the Arno River right here. You have a perfect seat to sit down and enjoy your gelato. And on the other side of the river, you have the historic old town, so you can sit back, relax with your gelato, and take in the view. Oh, so much goodness. And my $20 went a long way. $20, that's around about €18.50. I paid $3.40 for the cappuccino and the cornetto, and then for the Lampredotto I paid €5. For the two balls, the two Coccoli, I paid €3, $1.50 each. The Schiacciata, that would have cost me €6 at I Fratellini, but they gifted me that, so thanks to them. And then the gelato, a little 2-flavor cone of gelato, only €2. So you tally all that up on your calculator, and what do you get to? Well, €19.40. Went over the budget by about €1 But really, in Italy, with 20 US dollars, you can really make it go a long way, and we did so today.